Kanye West is one of the greatest producers of all time, but he's lost his damn mind. Now look, those of you who follow Kanye West, you know it's always a wild ride. You never know what he's going to say next. I mean, he takes us directly into the Twilight Zone, and just when we think we've gone far enough into the time-space continuum, he just finds like a new dimension to fuck up. And his brutal honesty is what, honestly, a lot of fans love about him. They love that he's not afraid to speak his mind, that he doesn't give in to societal pressures, that he's always going to stand for what he believes in, which is great. I mean, I'm all for celebrating freedom of speech, but when that speech turns into hate speech, when you start to discriminate, when you start to attack an entire group of people, I mean, where do we draw the line? So recently, Kanye West went on Alex Jones's InfoWars. Now, Alex Jones is a well-known conspiracy theorist, and Alex actually was serving up kind of a PR win for Kanye. You know, he was trying to defend him. A lot of the controversy that Kanye's been facing recently with his anti-Semitic marks, with him getting attacked for a lot of things that he's saying and what he's doing. And Alex was kind of giving Kanye a platform and an opportunity to come through and to sort of clear the air. But instead of taking this as a PR victory and a great opportunity for his brand, Kanye instead decided to double, no, triple, no, you know what, fuck that, like 100 times down and just totally go all in and cash his chips on this situation. This is what he had to say.
You're not Hitler. You're not a Nazi. You don't deserve to be called that and demonized.
Well, I see good things about Hitler also. The Jew, I love everyone.
I'm sorry, Kanye, I do not love Hitler, a man who is responsible for the extermination of millions of Jews, who started a world war which led to the loss of millions of lives, destruction worldwide, the Nazis trying to take over the world, and here is Kanye trying to go Jesus on us? I mean, Kanye does go on further, like he's trying to make a point and revolve around this issue of, you know, Jesus hung out with thieves. He hung out with the outcasts of society. He loved everybody. That was the Christian way. So Kanye is trying to hammer home a point like, I love everybody. I embrace everybody. Which, fine, I get that moral argument and standing, but there's smart ways to go about that and ways logically to present yourself so that other people can relate to it and understand it. And then there's ways that just like make your jaw absolutely drop to the floor. When you come out and defend someone who, I don't care what your viewpoint is, where you are in this world, like the majority of people in this world who are sane, who have a rational brain, will turn and go, that man right there, Adolf Hitler, he was evil. He was an evil motherfucker. I mean, you can't skate around it. It's not exactly going to be a winning point for you and something you're going to get a pat on the back for when you go, yeah, I absolutely love that mass murderer. I want to go give him just a big hug and have like fucking cheese and wine with him later in his bunker where he shot himself in the face. And it's not like he just left it at that. No, Kanye decided to double down even further on the whole Hitler saying and say this about Nazis.
Look,
I love Jewish people, but I also love Nazis.
I don't think I've ever heard the correlation of Jewish people, Nazis, and love. Just judging past events, love is definitely not one of the words that's at the forefront between those two groups. But hey, let's give everybody a hug. So if that wasn't enough, Kanye then decides, hey, might as well continue my rampage. I'm going to go to Twitter now. So then he posts a picture on Twitter of the Star of David, which is a well-known Jewish symbol. There's only one problem with it. Inside of the Star of David, there is a Nazi swastika. I mean, again, put yourself in Kanye's mind, like he's trying to show this love, how we need to embrace everybody. We need to embrace Jews. We need to embrace Nazis. But I don't think the way to do this is by putting just a well-known symbol of evil, of just destruction and death, of genocide inside of a Jewish symbol. I mean, what is happening? And look, I sit here and I know I'm cracking jokes about this, but honestly, I'm disappointed. I really am, because I grew up a huge Kanye West fan. I mean, I really look up to this man. You know, when Through the Wire came out, I fell in love with Kanye immediately. The college dropout days, like, he really is one of the greatest producers and artists of all time. I mean, I can't say enough about his creativity, about his courage, how every single album he put out something different, unique. He wasn't afraid to take risks. You love how he's a pioneer in that sense. You love sometimes, like, you accept his ego because his self-belief and supreme confidence helped him to rise up at a time when nobody wanted to sign him. Everybody wanted to use his beats. Everybody wanted him as a producer. And he's like, yo, I can be an artist. I can be an artist. And he believed in himself so much, and he literally manifested that. You have to respect that grind and that climb and that self-belief. But I think the problem is that, you know, you are who you surround yourself with. And we need to start looking at who Kanye is surrounding himself with and what's kind of going on in his headspace, because ego can run away with you. Pride can run away with you. And eventually you might get to a point when you feel like you're bulletproof almost at this certain level of celebrity where you have so much attention, you have so much money, you have so much wealth, you have so much influence. And maybe you start to undervalue some of your words and what you say and what that means. And look, we also know that, listen, I don't want to downplay Kanye West's mental health issues. We know that he's bipolar. We know that he suffers from that. And this really looks like a psychotic episode that he's happening. This man needs help. This man needs serious help. And Kanye, if you want to preach loving thy neighbor, hey man, I'm all for that, but this is not the way to go about it. What you have to realize is the power of your words, the rhetoric that you're using, the things that you're saying. These are the same arguments and the same logic that the Nazis used to justify the mass extermination of Jewish people. I mean, this is like deja vu into nightmares for Jewish people. All of a sudden, you start hearing these discourses happening. You hear conversations like this, and you're like, what the fuck? We are not going back in this direction again, are we? I mean, there has to be a point where enough is enough. And it's just too far, Kanye. It's just too much this time. And again, I'm all for freedom of speech. I'm all for expressing yourself. But I'm also going to express my opinion, and I'm going to be very dismayed. And there are consequences to your words. There are consequences to the things that you do, especially at the level of influence that Kanye has. Words are dangerous. You have to accept responsibility. You know, I realize that he wants to be a maverick. He wants to really get this absurd point across to make people notice him. But there's good ways to go about that. And then there's ways that can have ill-fated consequences. You know, there are going to be groups of people out there listening to Kanye's words and just slurping it up. Like literally taking that on board and going, you know what? He's right. He's right. Jewish people, they control everything. We need to go after them. They're the problem. You're right. The Nazis did do some great things. Yeah, they had some great ideas. Let's start studying Hitler. Let's start looking at what the Nazis did. And then all of a sudden, you start this thought train in this direction, which is, you know, history is there for us to learn from the mistakes of the past. This same rhetoric and this same buildup yet again, like we've said, it is what has led to the Holocaust in the first place. And the problem is all the media outlets are going to run with this because it makes a great story. Like they're going to sit here and play the hero now because it's easy to vilify Kanye. It's easy to attack Kanye. But all they're doing is giving these words, giving this situation so much more attention and so much more coverage because they know it's controversy. It's clicks, 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 clicks. What if you shut them off? What if you stop giving him the attention that he wants? What if you stop funding him? What if you stop giving him the platform that he so craves? Disconnect him from all that. The man obviously needs help. He's obviously going through some stuff. I mean, is this like a greater cry and plea for attention from Kim and from his kids? I don't know. I'm baffled. I really am. I'm lost for words. Kanye, please, man, you got to stop this. This is not healthy. This is not the way to go about it. I'm worried about you, man. I've been a fan for such a long time, but this is the line drawn, homie. This is it right here.